Hello everyone. Today we're going to discuss the remaining section of chapter 2nd, The Adventure of Toto, written by Ruskin Bond. In the previous video, we get to know that how the Toto monkey, he was teasing the family donkey Nana. So here narrator is telling further more incident and more adventures by the antics played by the Toto monkey. So here in the series he says that from page number 9, last paragraph, a great treat for Toto during cold winter's evening was the large bowl of warm water given him by grandmother for his bath. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand, then gradually step into the bath, first one foot then the other, as he had seen me doing, until he was into the water up to his neck. So here, narrator tells us that how the monkey Toto was enjoying bathing in the warm water. And he was very much skillful. Skillful in what? He was very cunning to test the temperature with his hand, then gradually step into the bath. First one foot, he put first his foot into the water, then the other, as he had seen me doing, he has seen the narrator doing to check the water temperature. So until he was into the water up to his neck. So initially he put one foot and another one to check the temperature of the water, and he enjoyed the warm water bath. So writer he wanted to say, and finally he would sit into the water and his face out of water. Now next page. Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hand or feet and rub himself all over. So the monkey, once he himself comfortable in the water, he would take the soap and he will rub throughout the body. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. Or as soon as the water become cold, he will come out of the water very quickly and he will run to the kitchen to dry himself. If anyone laughed at him during his performance, Toto's feeling would be hurt and he would refuse to go on with his bath. One day Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. So now he says if somebody will tease Toto and somebody would, if I'll say, hurt his feeling, so he was so we'll say so willing in that matter that he will deny, he will not take bath, and he will refuse to go with his bathing. He will not take bath. He is so we can say dramatic. So here we wanted to say here the narrator recollects one more incident of Toto. What do you say that one day Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. How come? A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea. So a large kitchen kettle is a container for the boiling the hot water. So it was kept on the fire. Now what do you say? Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, he decided to remove the lid. He removed the lid of the container. Finding the water just warm enough for a bath, he got in with his head sticking out from the open kettle. This was just fine for a while until the water began to boil. Toto then raised himself a little, but finding it cold outside, he sat down again. He continued hopping up and down for some time until grandmother arrived and hauled him half-boiled out of the kettle. So Toto always finds something to do, something he has to do, right? Something mischievous he has to do. He has to play some antics. So one day when he did not find anything better to do, so he went to a kitchen where there was a kettle on a fire. He found the water warm and he went into the water with his head out of the water and he was enjoying bathing. But as soon as the water started boiling, he started hopping into the water, and as when the grandmother came, he hauled him out. He hauled him means pulled him out of water, and he found he was half boiled in the kettle because of his mischievous nature. So, if there is a part of the brain, now in the next paragraph, the narrator is saying, if there is a part of the brain specially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. So here the narrator wanted to say, if we have a part in our body like this that create or that governs our body to create mischief, the ability to do mischief, so that part was highly developed in Toto. Now he wanted to say that he was always tearing things to pieces Whenever one of my aunt came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole into it. So he was trying every effort to do some mischievous. So whenever he saw any aunt coming to him, he tried to catch the hold of the dress or the sari of the ladies, and he tried to tear it. Now, here the narrator one day at lunchtime, here the narrator recollects one more incident with Toto. He says that one day at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. We enter the room and find Toto stuffing himself with rice. So there was a preparation of the lunch and the dinner table, and we were supposed to have lunch, and there was a preparation of pulao. But when we came for lunch, we found the monkey was already eating the pulao. When you say that, my grandmother screamed, my grandmother shouted at him with Toto, and Toto threw a plate at him. Right? When grandmother shouted that when she saw that he is eating the pulao, she shouted, but the monkey threw a plate towards the grandmother. One of my aunts rushed forward and received a glass of water in the face. When grandmother arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through the window. We found him in the branches of the jackfruit tree and the dish still in his hands. He remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice and determined on finishing every grain. And then, in order to spite me to annoy grandmother, who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down from the tree and chattered with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. So here what he's trying to say, he's recollecting one more incident of the mischievous monkey, what he did when everybody was ready for the lunch. That time monkey was eating the pulao. When the grandmother screamed at him, he has threw the plate towards him and he ran away. He escaped from the window while keeping the plate of pulao in his hand, and he went on and sat on a jackfruit tree, and he had finished all the pulao. And after finishing every grain, just to annoy grandmother, he has thrown the plate and it has shattered into pieces, and he chattered with delight. As soon as the sound of the shattering of the plate came out, he chattered. He was so happy with delight. The sound of the shattering of the plate made the monkey happy, and it broke into thousands of pieces. Obviously, Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for long. So here the writer is saying that Toto was a wild animal, right? So it was not a sort of pet we can keep for long. Why? Even grandfather realized that we were not well-to-do and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains, and wallpaper. So grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. Of course, nobody has the courage to bear the loss of tearing the dresses, tearing everything, the breaking of the dishes and everything. Nobody can take such kind of losses for long. So the grandfather and the family, finally they realized the Toto is not a monkey sort of monkey that can be kept as a pet. So the grandfather, grandfather found the Tonga driver back and he sold the Toto monkey back in the amount of 3 rupees. So I think you must have understood this chapter. It's a very interesting chapter. Here the narrator wanted to give a... So this chapter gives us a message that we should treat the animals with love and concern, as a grandfather has a concern for the animals, and he has concern towards all the animals, and he has... So this chapter also gives the message of the animal welfare, animal rights, as well as this chapter. In this chapter, the narrator intend to convey that the wild animals, the baby of the wild animals, they look cute, they look pretty, and we are tempted to keep them as a pet. But we should not be carried away by their looks only. Like some animals, like a monkey, they are very mischievous. They are not. They should not be kept at home, right? So here the writer wanted to convey that animals thrive better in their natural habitat. So throughout the story, he wanted to give various messages: the animal love, animal welfare, as well as the animals thrive better in their natural habitat rather than keeping in their zoo and the cages. I hope you must have understood. And in the further video, we'll continue with the question and answers. If you face any problem, do ask me. Thank you and have a nice day.